got some good news to share with you today. First, regarding insurance. We have an agreement with our insurance broker that will see our liability policy increase from $7.5 million aggregated to $10 million per occurrence. This offers better protection in the event the worst happens. This new policy will begin in March after the old one expires and continue until March 1st of next year. As always, our liability policy is contingent on the fact that you're following the MAAC Safety Code. The next piece of information that I want to share with you is we have made a formal submission to Transport Canada to increase our maximum flying weight from 25 kilos to 35 kilos. Additionally, we have requested to increase the maximum altitude above 400 feet, to be above 400 feet. We expect a favorable response from Transport Canada, and we expect that to come sometime later in the spring. Now, the increase in the maximum altitude will be dependent upon the airfield location, the airspace that you're actually flying in, whether it's controlled or uncontrolled. So that will be determined once we receive that response back from Transport Canada. The last topic I wish to speak with you today concerns governance, specifically around membership. Membership is MAAC's greatest asset, and I want to thank you for over 30,000 hours of volunteer time contributed to MAAC last year. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. But when members are asking me about how do I affect change within MAAC, they're usually not talking about contributing volunteer hours. They're talking about how do I change policy and how do I change bylaws. Well, that begins with getting involved at your AZM. Before your AZM, submitting a recommendation or a resolution to be voted upon at your AZM. The second part is attending your AZM, being part of the voices at your AZM that talk to those recommendations and resolutions that have been submitted. Also at your AZM, it's an opportunity for you to volunteer for MAAC's committees and have your voice heard that way through the committees. Recommendations and resolutions that are approved at AZMs move on to MAAC's AGM. The AGM is where all the recommendations and resolutions from the different zones will be heard, and they will either be passed or they won't be. All those recommendations and resolutions that are passed, the board is responsible for putting those into action, making those changes, and seeing that they're done. That's it. That's how you affect change within MAAC. Start with your AZM and putting in your recommendations, your ideas, any resolutions and things you want. If it passes your AZM, then it moves on to the AGM, where it'll be voted on there. Well, that's it for today. So as always, fly safe and have fun.